So many games come and go with their small moment to shine and then forgotten for all of history. And I think today's game is an example of such a thing. Rayman M. Now, I'm not even sure if all of you know what a Rayman is, but he used to be a mascot platformer and he died out heavily in the 2000s and was usurped by what was supposed to be a spin-off element of his series, the Rabid Rabbids, or whatever they're called. In fact, those Rabbids have gone on to collaborate with Mario on their own game on the Nintendo Switch. Rayman himself, the best he got in the 2010s was some sort of remake or spiritual successor side-scroller game. I wasn't a huge Rayman guy, but I had played a couple of his titles, one of which I thought was a kart racer, and I wanted to try and replay that for a retro dive. But when looking, I couldn't find a PlayStation 1 or 2 Rayman kart racer. The closest I came across was something called Rayman M. Terrible name, by the way, but the M stands for multiplayer, but they called it Rayman M. Not sure what they were thinking. They even gave it a subtitle of Rayman Arena, which is a better name. But here we are. How is Rayman M? What can it offer? Well, as soon as I logged into the game, I realized it's not the game I was expecting. Okay, going in absolutely blind. I thought from my memories, if this is even the game I'm remembering, that this was a kart racer. But this is clearly becoming obviously not that. So we'll go beginner league, and I guess we'll just try first ruins. None of this is clicking any buttons in my memory. Oh god, the movement is very snappy. You move faster than you would think. Alright, you can jump. This slows you down. Oh, Rayman can fly? Alright. I've not played Rayman in years. Maybe even 19 years. Okay, so obviously you're rewarded for staying on the top. I want to see what this thing does. Just, you know, come in. Oh, Spider-Man? What does that mean? Oh, you can climb it, alright. You move further in every direction than you would think you are, whether that's up or to the sides. You go further. But once you're used to it, it's not that bad. I just jump over it. Is this a switch? Okay, you have an attack. You can spam it out whenever you want. Oh, that is it. Okay, you can do that. Right, I think I've already learned enough. But that didn't stop me from giving it a go. And it's split between races and battles. Those are your two game modes, and it's a 4-player experience. I decided to try out the races first. The only characters I remember from the only characters I remember from Rayman is Rayman, when they get his name right, and that blue guy. That's it. I played one of the 3D games on the PlayStation 1 or 2. Never got far on it, and I don't remember anything else. Okay. So far, so good. And record lap. Right, so this is really easy. Considering everything you've seen so far is the first time I've picked up this game in years, if ever. And I am still blazing ahead. Yeah, that was easy. Too easy, I would say. Wow, if this is the whole game, I don't know how this is going to be an entertaining time for me. As you've seen, I wasn't very impressed with what Rayman had to offer, but to be fair, it was only the tutorial level. I would go on to do some couch co-op, which is the way these games were always meant to be enjoyed, but we quickly noticed when playing together that if you enter a race, the AI no longer show up and it just becomes a 1 versus 1. And for a party-styled racer, that makes it incredibly boring. In fact, we got so bored, we decided to just swap over to the battles immediately. And for some reason, on these ones, you're allowed to pick AI if you play with a human being. For a game called Rayman Multiplayer, having a 2-player only racing mode is not the best sell. Regardless, combat mode was terrible, abysmal. You're supposed to shoot each other with your projectile attack as you try to do one of multiple objectives based on which variant you're playing. One is capture the flag, one is team deathmatch, and there were about 4 more we just didn't bother playing. But the problem is, you get given this target reticle that will lock on at a certain distance based on your weapon, but the weapon doesn't necessarily target where the reticle's going anyway. So you've got a bleeping sound and a visual indicator, but it has next to no bearing on your attack half the time, which is very confusing. In fact, the visual feedback as a whole isn't very precise, and it left us confused if we were even doing the right thing or not. So we went back to the races, and unfortunately things didn't get much better. As you progress throughout the game, you get more characters and more stages as you would expect, but the race courses still mostly are the same. You have a set speed, and this speed is augmented by dash panels throughout the level. Some stages have shortcuts, other stages have hazards you can activate with your projectile to either help yourself out or punish someone who's ahead of you. That's about it though. Each character is identical in how they play. They can shoot a projectile, move, and if you double jump, they'll do a slow hover to the ground. That's it. Yes, you can target these glowing fairy wings to swing across like Tarzan throughout some of the levels if they have them, but that's about the most skill expression you're going to get. We use cheat codes to get most of the levels. If you put certain names that your profile select, you can skip the unlock process, which thank God that was included, because I couldn't imagine sitting through on single player to unlock it, because yes, you have to play single player to unlock everything, despite the fact this is called Rayman multiplayer, which is a mistake a lot of games have made over the years. It's not a fast-paced racer, the experience isn't unique. The Olympic Games, Mario and Sonic, have better versions of this in their dream events. It's such a shame, and there are kids out there that probably got this game for Christmas, and that was the only thing they got for 6 months, and they had to make do, and they got 4 of them together to play, and realised they'll have to do the battle mode because the race is 2-player only, despite being called Rayman multiplayer. There's bonus zones at the end of the game too, which do gimmicky stuff. I only tried one of them, and it looked suspiciously similar to another racing game that I was quite familiar with. Anyway, it's quite clear where I stand on my thoughts of Rayman M. It wasn't even the game I thought I was going to be playing, and it didn't make me feel good about finding it. Rayman's world and cast are like a blurry haze to me. I only remembered the blue one and Rayman himself. The other character designs left a lot to be desired. They were very bland, uninspired, and 2 of them were basically just a reskin of each other. And one of them was pretty uncomfortable to play as, if I'm honest. Would I recommend this game? No, absolutely not, never. Just play literally anything else that's 2-player, because if it's bad, at least it'll be funny, and if it's good, it'll be better than this game. Even if I was a kid and I got this game, and I had no other option, I would feel disappointed. I know I just would be sad that this is the game I got. It doesn't have enough content to last, and what it does have is very repetitive. So on that note, this will bring us to the end of today's Retro Dive. I hope you guys enjoyed this look into a game you probably didn't even know existed. Let me know if you knew what Rayman was before watching this video, and I will hope to see you in the next one. This is the Mighty Mage, signing off.